My father's house. Lot has moved to Sodom. And the Lord, the God of Abraham, is the same Lord that had, blessed Noah and his sons, is now doing something with another man whose name is Abram. And the Lord said to Abram, after Lot had separated from him, lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are northward and southward and eastward and westward. In other words, Abram, I want you to look everywhere. For all the land which you see, I will give you. And to your descendants forever. Now, folks, I don't know if y'all know how long forever is, but forever is not a short period of time. Now, the Lord, the God of Abraham, has spoken to Abram, because his name is not Abraham yet. I will take your descendants. Your descendants means your children. Even way back then. I will make your descendants as the dust of the earth, so that if anyone can number the dust of the earth, then your descendants can also be numbered. Arise, walk about the land through its length and breadth, for I will give it to you. Then Abram moved his tent and came and dwelt by the oaks of Mamre, which are in Hebron, and there he built an altar to the Lord. So Abram has moved and he has built an altar to the Lord. He's not building this thing to anyone else. He's built an altar to the Lord. And it came about in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Eleazar, and some more. They made war with the king of Sodom. So there's fixing to be a war, and some kings have ganged up against the king. And these came as allies in the 12 years they had served Chedorlaomer, but the 13th year they rebelled. Now, they turned their back and came to, I can't pronounce it, but there's some Amorites there. And the king of Sodom and the king of Gomorrah and the king of Admah and the king of somewhere else. Anyway, they're there. And there's fixing to be a battle. And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food supply. They also took Lot. They took Lot, Abram's nephew, and his possessions, and departed. See, Lot was living in Sodom. Then a fugitive came and told Abram the Hebrew. The Hebrew, he was still at the Oaks of Mamre, the Amorite brother, and he had some allies there with Abram. And when Abram heard that his relative had been taken captive, he led out his trained men, born in his house, 318. 318. He's got them. But these folks don't know who else is with him. No. Folks, they're fixing to get their first lesson in the Lord, Abram's God, because they're messing with somebody and they shouldn't have been messing with him. And Abram divided his forces then by night and his servants, and defeated them and pursued them a pretty good ways, and they wound up north of Damascus. That's where they were. And you remember, what did the Lord say? I'll bless. And if somebody else, messes up, I'll take care of that too. Yep. But anyway, he brought back all of the goods, and also brought back his little relative Lot with his possessions, and also the women and the people. Did that with 318 men. After his return from the defeat of these kings, Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought out bread and wine. Now he was a priest of God Most High. Woo, folks, we have just seen and found out that there is a priest of God Most High. And God Most High is the God of who? Abraham. Yeah. And he blessed him and said, so who's speaking here? The priest of God Most High. Blessed be Abram of God Most High. Folks, it's just a good thing to be of God Most High. Because if you're of, the God Most High, things can go well with you as long as you obey Him. Because He is possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be God Most High, who has delivered your enemies into your hands. Folks, the God Most High can deliver your enemies into your hands. And the king of Sodom said to Abram, give the people to me and take goods for yourself. Abram said to the king of Sodom, I have sworn to the Lord God Most High, possessor of heaven and earth. Folks, this is way back yonder. I mean, Sodom hadn't even got burned to the ground yet. And they're all together there. They're having a feast. And Abram says, I'll take nothing except that which the young men have eaten, and the share of the men who went with me, and he named them, and they got their share. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision, saying, Do not fear, Abram. I am a shield to you. Your reward shall be very great. Folks, I'm about to get beside myself. I mean, I am absolutely about to get beside myself. I mean, I just thought about, somebody saying, lay for yourselves up treasures in heaven. Because they can't be bothered there. Yeah. But anyway, Abram said, O Lord God, what will you give me, since I am childless, and the heir of my house is Eliezer of Damascus? Well, folks, I can assure you that nobody of Damascus is fixing to get this blessing. It's not going to happen. No. Because Abram is fixing to find out something. And once God, has made a promise, the promise is good. Yep. God can keep his promises. Yep, folks. I believe this is number 3. I can feel number 4 coming.